Welcome everyone. Just sharing this real quick to the pages and things that I need to share it to. Then we will get started. Here we go. And go live. Let's see. Oh, can't even type. Okay. Got it. Got it. What's the problem? All right. Bum, bum, bum. Hey, Bernadette. How are you?
How are you? Hello, okay, and you?
Good, thank you. Just trying to make sure I'm live. I can hear myself talking. Let me close that out. I think that's better. Let's give it a second for a couple more people.
Okay.
Bum, bum, bum. What have you been reading lately?
A couple of things. The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I just finished Isaiah Dunne's My Hero. That
Okay.
was a net gallery pick. It was pretty good. A 10-year-old boy and all the hardships he's going through. His father is out of the picture. His mother and his sister, they've moved into a welfare hotel. I mean, but as I think now, it's probably a little heavy for children, though.
Yeah.
You know.
Hi, Kenyatta.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome. Might be a small party. Not that many RSVP today, so I'm not sure. I think, let me text Jess and see if she's joining.
Okay.
She might be working. Who knows? See if she's coming on. Have you guys seen the Amanda Seales special on HBO?
I didn't.
No, I hadn't seen it, but I'm on vacation starting today, so I'm going to 7 day HBO thingy and watch it.
It's pretty funny. I kind of watched it this week, like I was distracted with homeschool and stuff, so I was like pausing, so I wasn't really paying attention to it, but I did watch it when it first came out, and I thought she was hilarious. Like, her personality, you got to see more of her personality in the HBO special, because I feel like on social media, she kind of comes off as like, you know, tough guy, kind of, you know, she just sticks it to him, and some people think she's very opinionated on a lot of things that she says and does, so, but I liked her vibe on HBO, like you got to see that silly side of her too.
Okay. I never knew much about her until I heard she was coming on The Real, and as she was coming on The Real, my schedule work changed, so I couldn't watch it, and I saw it a few times if I was off a day or whatnot, and then the next thing I know, she's leaving The Real, so I missed it.
Hi, Lena.
Yeah, she was getting a lot of comments from people, a lot of backlash, talking about she's always this angry Black woman. You know how that goes.
That's it. She's very,
and that's what she's about, commentating and being an advocate for that kinds of things.
And I actually kind of worked my my work schedule. Like I took my lunch break at 1:00 just so I could watch The View with her on it, because she does have that kind of keep it real personality.
Right.
Hey, Keela. She can't hear me because she's connecting to audio. There she is. Hey, Keela.
Hey.
But I loved her on The Real, and I'm actually kind of sad.
So did I.
I'm really sad to see her go, and I'm sad to see Tamara go too. But I know Amanda's biggest thing was that they censor her a lot from what she can and can't say. So she's like, I don't want to work for a place where I can't say what's on my mind.
Well, I don't understand what, The Real, I enjoyed The Real with the group. Tamar used to kind of annoy me, but Lonnie, a bit much. I mean, what did they expect? Did they not vet Amanda? Like, did they not know where she was coming from? Like, what were you expecting to get?
That's literally
they probably thought they could tame her.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally her entire social media presence is going at people, calling people out. Hey, Jess, and just like, that's her. That's who she is. So if you know anything about Amanda Seales, that's like, she's going to tell it like it is and just keep it real. So I don't know what
it was an introduction to her, because I didn't really know much about her. Like I still haven't looked at Issa Rae on HBO. So I got a lot of stuff.
That's okay. So Insecure was,
funny.
I think, my main, but I knew about her before that, but I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I did too. I was trying to think. Well, I remember she was on that show when we were growing up on Nickelodeon. My brother and me.
You also mentioned that she was a VJ for MTV too. So that's,
and I remember that.
That could have been
any of that.
Once she started talking more about the Amanda Diva, I was like, that's who I remember. I remember that, but
one time where, and I'm aging myself because I didn't keep up with MTV, but AJ and what's her name on BET?
Free.
On BET, yeah.
Was that around the same time that they were on BET, that she was on?
It could have, early 2000s. Did overlap a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's something else I feel like before that I was following her, I think, before Insecure, so I'm not really sure. I don't know.
Well, Real kind of played themselves, because if you thought Tamar was too much, I don't know why you even wasted your energy with Amanda.
Well, see, Tamar was too much in a whole nother direction. This woman is educated and has much more knowledge. That was it. They wanted somebody just to be a monkey, and she was like, no, I'm going to come with it, but I'm going to have the knowledge behind it to make sense as well.
I love that. I love that she went and got her degree in, or it might have been her master's, but in African American studies. Like, that was so dope to me. She's like, not only am I going to come for you, but I'm going to know what I'm talking about too. Like, I thought that was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I really did an introduction, when this goes on YouTube or whatever, but we were talking Small Doses by Amanda Seales tonight. What were your general thoughts? I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I did the audiobook version and followed along in the ebook so that I could see the pictures and the things that she's talking about. But I feel like the audiobook took it to like a whole nother level.
Right.
She ad-libbed in the audiobook, because I was like, wait a minute, I'm following along, and she just, whenever she wanted to say something more or change something up, I was like, oh, this is hilarious.
Yeah, the sound effects and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. But I'm glad I bought the book, because the artwork is amazing. I love it. And the fact that she did all of that. I had no idea she was an artist
until she mentioned it in the book, right? I was like, oh, all of these pictures are her, her doing. I thought that was so awesome. And she just covered just a handful of topics that you don't get to see in most books, whether it's, going through your hoe phase and, even just talking about celebrities and how they've treated her and, she stuck up for herself. It's like, wow, that guy really came for her like that. Like, just a lot of stuff that you wouldn't necessarily, I feel like celebrities go to an extent when they're talking about their lives or, giving their opinions, but they won't necessarily step on toes. And Amanda's kind of like, I don't care. I'm going to say what I want and be who I am.
Right. Like when she talked about, over the years, I've watched Russell Simmons, with Kimora, and then when they divorced and he's you know, namaste yoga and this and that, what have you. But when he's saying like sitting down in a boardroom with supposedly professionals in an executive room to talk about business, and then he's like, have we had sex? You know, have we effed? Like, really? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That was kind of
wild. It made you
wild.
believe some of the other stuff that you've heard about him that you wasn't sure whether it was true or not. You're like, yeah, it's true.
Right. Like you're trifling, period.
Yeah, I look, I see y'all sipping. I didn't go. I didn't fix my drink. I was, and hopefully Adrian.
Oh, you made yours too. Look
She's
at that.
showing her.
I saw y'all. My glass is empty.
Go get you some. We'll be here. Not going anywhere.
I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go get it. But I wanted to shout out real quick because the girl's on the phone. She's like, "Oh, girl, magic, yeah. I followed that." I said, "You need to come read with us." She's like, "Okay, I'm gonna come read next month." I said, and I guarantee you, Renee is looking for me. And sure enough, when I hung up, Renee was like, "Are you joining?
Are you coming?" No problem at all. Yeah, this was definitely one of the more, maybe most entertaining audiobooks I've listened to. I love that she let her personality shine through, and it just wasn't her just reading to us.
Right.
The sound effects, background noises, it just added, it took it to another level.
Little songs.
Yes. And there was a song that she had that I loved, and I should have played it, but it was the Black Girl Magic. Trying to find the page, but she had like that whole poem.
Yeah.
That she read.
Yeah.
And it was pretty empowering. Yeah,
okay.
But she talked about everything.
Page 34.
Thank you, because I'm sure looking for it right now.
Let me go get it.
Well, I used to have a friend who used to send me all these Amanda Diva videos and all this stuff, and I was just, he was just sending this stuff. So I'd be like, oh yeah, that's nice. So when she started talking about how she was a singer and Amanda Diva, I had to text him and say, okay, why didn't you tell me that Amanda Seals was Amanda Diva? And he was like, well, yeah. So he told me to go check her out on Def Poetry Jam on YouTube. So I'm going to do that after our call.
Yeah,
and hear her do some of her poetry as well.
Yeah, because I didn't realize that she was into hip hop and, and then tried to come over to the pop world. And I just didn't know she was into music like that.
Me either until this book.
Yeah. Like, I learned so much about her as a person, and
And then why she left.
Yes.
That's right up the street from me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Had like an identity crisis, like, who is this Amanda Diva? And people perceiving her the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, and I couldn't agree, because diva could have a negative
connotation.
Yeah.
But like the first hour and a half of the book for me was kind of rough. I guess, I don't know if I'm getting old or whatnot, but I don't know. I felt like it was too, it was just, I was like, oh my God.
It was small doses. She was going from thing to thing to thing.
And then after about the first hour and a half, I started, I was like, okay, I think I can go with this. So, but I would say, like, when she talked about, I guess I'm somewhat sheltered, because she talked about, in the workplace dealing with white people. My first supervisor that was white, I was 33 years old. Wow. And so I did not have that experience. Right out of college, my supervisor was Black. The director at my agency was Black. When I went to mental health, my supervisor was Black. The director, I worked Child Protective Services, supervisor, program manager, director, Black. So I never had that. And I had to, obviously, I'm listening to her talk about white people, and I felt like the Black people were worse than my first.
Oh, they wasn't worse.
Jennifer, no. I related to every bit. Yeah, I related to every bit of it. Every bit. I related to every bit of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was
you were very blessed and lucky that.
Yes, you were blessed. I highlighted. I'm using that this week in my little talk with my boss, my one-on-one.
because one of the parts she said about how they don't appreciate how we're direct. We don't have the passive aggressive thing going on. If we have something to say, we have a direct dialogue about us. And my boss the other day was telling me that I shouldn't be like that. I should just stop, I should just because I work with at Habitat for Humanity, and I have to talk to the problem affiliates. And she doesn't like how I do that. She wants me to just let them come to it themselves. But if I see some toxic stuff going on, I'm gonna say, it's me. But
call it out.
Yeah, I call it out. I don't have time to sit up here and play. And I love how she said it in this book. And so I'm definitely realize that it's a disconnect with white people not appreciating what Black women bring to the table, expecting us to be just like them. And if we're not, then we're doing something wrong.
And I feel I had that same experience with Black supervisors and directors. Okay. I feel the same, but really? Yeah, it was, yeah. But it was interesting to hear that dynamic because I've never.
But do you think it's Black because Black thinks that we're supposed to be acting like white?
I feel like I've completely left human services. Now I'm working insurance, but I feel like I don't know. It just seemed like it was very, very emotional working with Black women. Mm-hmm. I guess that directness, and you have two Black women going back and forth. Mm-hmm. But I mean, sometimes I'm like, these people talk about white people. I'm like, damn, I feel like these Black people are trying to pull me down, so that's one thing that I really have not experienced. Right now I have a white supervisor, but my manager, she's Hispanic, so I've been fortunate. Mm-hmm. I will just say that I have been fortunate. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've never had to worry about my hair or anything of that nature. So
I've not had to worry about anything like that, but like my first real job outside of college, I had a white manager, and I'm actually friends with her to this day. But I think during the time period she was going through something, and maybe with her marriage and her husband or whatever. And at the time I was getting engaged and I was about to go have a destination wedding, and I had all of this good stuff going on, and it was constantly she was just picking at me. I think it was a Wednesday. My last day to work was Friday because I was leaving on Tuesday for my destination wedding. I've been here all this time, and you give me an assignment on Wednesday and tell me it has to be done by the time, 2 major projects that have to be done by the time I leave the door on Friday. I normally get off of work at 4:30, and I was in the office until 7 o'clock on a Friday night trying to finish these projects before I leave, when I'm going to get married, but you didn't give it to me on Monday or the week before. You waited until Wednesday, 2 days before I'm about to go on vacation. So just little things like that. And then also she supervised 2 of us where our admin and myself. So our admin could go on doctors and, dentist appointments, no problem, no question. When I went, and I should have probably gone to HR, but I was in my early 20s, didn't know better, but would require a note from my dentist and doctor whenever I went. Nobody else had to do that, just me. Because she thought that I was things were bad. There was tension and stuff. So she probably thought that I was looking for a job. And so, yeah, she just basically made my life a living hell. My next manager after that, I had a Black woman up until last year who was, she had her way of doing things. She was controlling, but not in a bad way where it made me uncomfortable. She just kind of liked things done a certain way, which is typical of managers. And then the one I have now is super cool. She kind of just lets us go with the flow and do what we want, and is very supportive. So I've had 3 different ranges of managers. But the first one was definitely by far the worst I've ever had. Annual reviews, I'm in tears and her boss is in there, and it's just I feel like I'm constantly being picked on, Mm-hmm. So I can't help that my life, I'm traveling the world and getting married and doing all of these things. And it's you're taking out your anger on me. It's just, right, I'm living my life. I've done nothing to you, but I think at that time.
Great. You're not supposed to be better than me. You're not supposed to be great doing all this stuff.
Right. Yeah. Right. Especially when she's in her 40s and I'm in my 20s.
Do that.
Yeah.
Bitter. Just bitter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, whatever. So those have been my only experiences with that. But
well, I have worked in the corporate world at a Fortune 500, now Fortune 100 company for 18 years.
Wow.
So I've seen it all. Yeah. And it's been especially interesting with all of this social justice that's been brought to the forefront because of the murders and all that stuff. And now they want to talk about everything. And I'm like, I am not your teacher. I got accused by my boss of not having my head up on the issue. And somebody called him out and said, listen, she has a Black son. She lives this issue every day, even before you all just learned about it. So yeah, it's interesting.
I did a racial equity challenge recently. It was like a 21-day thing. And one of the main things that they said, and it was mixed groups of folks, and the main thing they said was, the Black people in your group are not the subject matter experts.
That's right.
We are all going to be learning this at the same time. They are not the SMEs on this. It's not so tell me the state of the Black world today. No, I can tell you what's going on my street, right?
Yes. I can tell you what I learned today. Yeah.
Right. I can tell you how I feel, but we are not a monolith. We do not speak for each other.
And I like how our white counterparts start reading, the history so you can see what has transpired over the years.
Now, I will appreciate the questions that are truly from a position of wanting to understand.
Right.
Yes.
And it's not how does everybody feel? It's like, well, Jess, what do you think about? We can talk all day. Come on, let's let me explain to you, like colorism. I had a discussion with somebody about colorism, and he said, now that you're saying that, I'm thinking back to when I was in high school and the girls and this. He said, but it didn't dawn on me, But that was more of I'm just talking to you kind of thing, not, well, you don't know what he didn't bring up colorism. I brought it up. But it was he's always willing to listen and he wants to know. There's a difference in how you come with it and how I'm gonna come back with it too, I guess, depending on how you come. But yeah, are you up? Shame on you for not being up on it. I'm just trying to live.
Right.
and I can't, and sometimes I just can't. Like when the folks were sending, when they had, right before Jacob Blake, they had a shooting here in Lafayette. And the videos people were texting. I was like, I haven't watched either one. I can't. I can't watch it right now. I can't do it.
That's one thing that irritates me with some of the people on my Facebook line is, I keep saying this, that post-traumatic stress disorder is not someone that's been in Iraq, someone that's been beat up, someone that's been raped. Yes, they suffer from that, but you also can acquire post-traumatic stress disorder looking at these videos all day long. You can have the same symptoms as someone who has been raped, beat up in Iraq somewhere. And I being woke at the extent of my mental health, I just can't do. I
can read about it. I can whatever, but I don't have to watch the video to understand what happened. I don't have to see that. We've seen Philando, we've seen Alton, I cannot watch that anymore. I cannot, because like you said, it does. When I see the blue lights, I tense up. I mean, it's like an automatic reaction. One of my neighbors posted on Nextdoor, which I hate Nextdoor.
I know.
Pretty racist. But
talking about whatever.
My friend sent it to me. We're like, what's going on your street? And I'm assuming it was one of my Black neighbors. She said, you raggedy children of the devil, y'all keep calling the police on me just because I'm having a birthday party for the child. She said, it was awful. She was like, I pay mortgage and I pay homeowners association dues, and all I'm doing is having a good time in my own house, and y'all want to call the police on me?
Wow.
Said, but the police, she said, y'all are the reason that people lose their lives. She said, but thankfully, every time they come over here, they tell me, we're fine with you doing, we're just responding, we're doing what we were asked to do. Y'all keep having your party, keep doing what you're doing. Just the next time you want to call and complain on me, why don't you come over and I'll fix you a drink.
Right. Hello.
And so my friend sent it to me and said, what's going on in your neighborhood? And I said, oh, I think I know who that was because I saw all the cars the other day. But it ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not going in that house. You're not coming in my house. You got COVID, whatever's going on.
Right.
There weren't a lot of cars. But if it was during the day, you know, but they called the police. And so she took it to next door. You raggedy children of the devil. I was like, this is hilarious.
Did anyone reply?
I didn't see, they just sent me the screenshot of it. I need to go on and see if she did. But, and my friends knew, they were like, is that house? I was like, yep, you know what? Because they say every time they come to my house, they see cars at that house.
Wow.
But
Like,
yeah.
if it's not killing you, just let it ride, man.
I'm not going over there. If they can do what and I don't know if it was a COVID call or if it was just because there was too many black people. I don't know. You know.
Shame.
But why call the police for that? Policing, police. Why? If it's bothering you, like she said, come on over and I'll fix you a drink. You might enjoy yourself.
My husband is a police officer, and he said that those are the kinds of calls that they're just going to stop responding to, because it always turns up into something that, you know,
unnecessary.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Jacob Blake I mean, it wasn't a house party, but it was a fight.
And same with the Wendy's guy in Atlanta.
Yep.
Oh yeah, sleeping. Yeah,
Talk that. All you had to do was wake him up and ask him to move.
Just like they did.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've seen bits and pieces, but again, because I got so much else going on, I haven't really got into that the Jacob Blake situation. I know he got shot several times in the back. I've heard that he was stun gun twice and still was running. So I think there's a lot going on with that. So I think it just adds to it. I'm still, even regardless of what he did, if he was in the wrong or not, I'm just pretty perplexed. It's not funny. I laugh, I think, keep from crying that you would have a shackle on an ankle to a man that's paralyzed. So are we like Trump, like you don't believe the physician when the physician has said he's paralyzed? So what, you believe the physician? Just like Trump don't believe Dr. Fauci, you don't believe so why does he have to be, where is he going if he's paralyzed? Like,
where is he going? Where is he going, and what's the charge? Why is he a flight risk? What are you charging him with? Yeah, that's awful.
So yeah,
but he lived to tell it. Now, granted, he is paralyzed, but he lived to tell it. And
can I ask one question? Since we talking about racial, this is getting off the book.
We always do this.
They sound
we talk about whatever. It's our hangout time.
There ain't no black people in Oregon, and I know that.
That's not true.
In Portland,
Oregon. Yes.
There ain't no black people in Oregon.
I know black people in Oregon.
There are. There's, yeah.
Yes, there is.
We're everywhere.
What world is going on in Oregon?
There are black people that live in Oregon. They have gangs, Crips and Bloods in Portland.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere. Like
everywhere. We're in Wisconsin, in Nebraska, we're in Omaha, in Milwaukee, everywhere.
Renee, I'm standing up because I got to stand up so I can close these rings.
Oh, your rings? So look, so Jess and I, we have these competitions. So Jess has a Peloton. I'm getting one. I just ordered it on Sunday. I have like a regular bike that I've been using with the Peloton app, so we ride together.
You even had that bike for a month. You should have just went and got the Peloton from the beginning.
I mean, so that bike wasn't good enough?
Well, it is good enough, but the difference is $350 versus $2,500. Okay. So I started off that way just because I didn't think it would really matter, but the Peloton is just, it's different. It has a screen. You can ride with your friends. You can high five people during the chat. The instructors, if it's a live class, they can talk to you and shout you out. It's just more engaging.
Now, how big are these classes with the live instructors? Are they ginormous? Those classes are ginormous with the live instructors?
Usually they can have a couple thousand people in those classes, but usually to get a shout out, it's either how you're performing in there or if you have like an anniversary. So if it's like my 50th ride or my 100th ride, they'll give you, it shows them that, or if it's your birthday and they give you shout outs based on that.
Yeah, you can put, and you sometimes like if you put the different hashtags and stuff, I think they follow that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
It's like a Facebook Live ride thing. So
I've seen as many as 15,000 people in
it's
a
a
live
lot.
ride.
Yeah.
And you
but
can see them.
is your screen like a scenery or is it the teacher that's doing
It's
it?
the teacher. It's the teacher, and then there's a leaderboard, so you can see everybody who's on the ride by their screen name. But you can filter. Why did you tell me? You can filter. Look at this band.
Is that Zeus? Oh, no,
Yeah,
Zeus is the
jumped
other
all up in my chair. You can filter like by people that you're following or the hashtags that you use, and see who you're riding with.
Okay.
Cool. So Jess has enabled me to buy a bike.
Or
I did.
The music comes through the bike also, or
it's a big screen on the.
But I'm about to share my screen and pull it up. Hang on a second. Watch. So I can show you.
I do not need to the bike.
Right.
So is it a payment plan? You got paid out, right?
Yes. You can do a payment plan. That's the only reason why I'm doing it, because I'm not paying $2,500 right now.
Okay.
No payment.
Like
it's zero interest.
It's like a real sturdy bike, like that's at the gym, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm about to see if I can pull up a picture of it. And if you saw the instructors, Lord, some of the men's, they are everything.
Really?
So my heart belongs to Jason. My heart belongs to Jason.
They're based out of New York.
Okay.
Let me see if I can, hang on a second. All right, let me see if I can share real quick. So you can kind of see the bike.
Okay.
That screen with the instructor. So that's how it looks with a live ride. Now, mind you, once the live rides are done, you can access them at any time. They're pre-recorded, so you can go back. But a lot of the classes, like they've got music to them. So there's hip hop riding classes, pop. Like this morning,
they had a Prince one.
They had a Prince one. Jess and I think we took that together. There was a Sean Paul one that I took this morning.
Oh, you did do the Sean Paul?
I did. Yeah, I jumped on there. That's what I was texting you about, Hannah.
I'm not looking. Looking.
That's right. It was Hannah. I forgot.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not a fan. Not a fan, Hannah.
Y'all not gonna get me caught up. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Alex.
All right, Alex.
And Alex stands up on that bike and he beats on it, and he's like, "Yes, you can, baby. You can do it." Okay, Alex, I can do it. I can do it.
Alex is something else, man. Like, but they've got a bunch.
Yes.
So I find somebody else. Where's Tunde?
Find Adrian.
A month for the bike. Does that include this online stuff, or do you have to pay another fee to get on live with them?
So if you use just the app, like I've been using with another bike, it's $12.99. But it's more than just cycling. They have yoga, meditation. They have strength, cardio, stretching. They have a bunch of classes, walking, running. But if you have the actual bike, then it's $40, $39 a month. So $40 a month roughly.
But $12.99 if you don't have the bike.
Yeah.
Wait. So you pay $58 for the bike and then $40 a month for the app?
For the app.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the bike and you're just using a regular bike, you don't have to pay $12?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Let me get the app.
Look, it's awesome. It's amazing. It's worth every penny. And if I didn't want the bike so bad, this works out great. Like I literally set a schedule every day. And I, do a ride or do some type of strength and conditioning. And so like, these are the instructors as you can see them, but yeah, they have a tread too, that they also do with running classes, but it's amazing, y'all. I can't even begin.
Like a regular bike?
Yes. I have one that I got. It's a High, that I paid with tax and everything about $354. But these are the instructors. And so they make the classes. Where is he?
Find Adrian Williams.
Oh, this is just the bike instructor.
Oh, that's just the bike.
Yeah. Tunde is awesome if you see her down there.
I love. So I did the one you had on our schedule, Renee. I did the Tabata ride.
Yes, that was hard today. Yes, I did that too.
Oh, I was so.
She's amazing. Every bit of amazing. But anyways, yeah. I don't know. Is Adrian? Would he be the tread? I guess I don't know.
Yeah, he does train.
Anyways, you can look at the screen. Like that's the tread. Like how big the screen is for that. But yeah, you can take the little boot camps and things like that for $12.99. It's amazing. If you're looking for something to just do at-home workouts, every bit of amazing. And so Jeff and I can give you our username so y'all can follow us and, engage.
Okay. And so you can buy them. You have a home gym. They have the treadmill and the bike gym.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
And they'll be buying the treadmill next month.
No, I'm not buying a treadmill.
I said, Renee,
Renee has bought every accessory under the sun for this bike, and she don't even have the bike yet.
Listen, okay, so let me tell y'all, there's a whole group, right? It's Black Girl Magic Peloton Edition, right? So it's just nothing but Black women in this group, okay? So last year, and I'm gonna shoot myself for saying this because this is live on Facebook and it will go live on YouTube and everybody's gonna know about my life, but just last week, what was it? Thursday, they convinced me to buy a scale. So this scale, it's regular like $35. It fluctuates in price, but I've never seen it for $19.99. So I bought it.
Is it like a Wi-Fi?
You open the app, it tells you your body weight, how much your muscles weight, how much water percentage it is on there. It does everything, okay?
I got that scale for my stepdaughter for Christmas.
Yes, it's amazing, okay?
She loves
So
it.
I bought that.
So can you put that link in the group when we're done?
Yep,
okay.
I will do that. And then Friday, a little shy to say this one. So does anybody know what Tracy's dog is? Jess is laughing. She knows her. Y'all never heard of Tracy's dog? Y'all should probably Google that. I'm not going to pull it up on the chat. But it's a toy. I'll say that much. Yeah, like pull up the phones if you can. Okay. These girls are like in this thing, swearing by this thing. And the story, did you see the one today, Jess, where someone was like, I had a dog, I took it out for a walk, we started off nice and slow, and then the dog started to get aggressive, and like she was talking about this toy, but she's talking about it as if it's a puppy, and people actually thought she was talking about a dog, so they started posting pictures of their dog and saying, oh, I have a puppy that's 5 months old. And I'm like, yeah, she ain't talking about that kind of dog, she's talking about Tracy. Like,
about Tracy's dog.
So I bought that on Thursday, and
what does
then
it
Friday
do?
I can't.
I don't know. It's a vibrator, to put it more plainly, but it has some good sucking and stimulation. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, it's called Tracy's dog. So look it up.
He'll say, oh, wait a minute. Yo,
I'm single too. I'm single. I'm right there with you. I'm reading.
The comments in the group are like for real. People are like, y'all didn't tell me this thing was coming.
Right. Craziness.
Wow.
And then I finally went and got the tread just because I feel like I just want to ride with my friends.
You didn't get the tread, you got the bike.
Sorry, not this.
Oh,
the bike,
I was going to say, wait a minute. Did you get the tread?
I wasn't buying that $4,000 tread yet.
It's next week.
Right. Hello. Oh yeah. So let's get on today and what I purchased today. So, the Peloton you can get like an accessory package. It comes with a heart rate monitor that you wear around your waist or whatever, but everybody talks about how horrible it is and it doesn't track accurately. So I got this tracker that goes like on your forearm. So I bought that. That was, I think, like $100, and then I got it 25% off. So I only paid $75 for it. So I got that. And then I got like a phone stand for mine today or something. And it also holds my Kindle. So it's like, I know. And the bike doesn't come until the 23rd. That's the sad part about it. Is like I bought all this stuff and the bike doesn't even come until the 23rd. Like I don't even
see how I'm looking at her. Because I already told her my phone fits in the little cup holder. You know what I mean?
But I want it to be extra. I wanted my Kindle to fit on it or my iPad. I wanted my phone to be on top.
Actually, so does the program sync with iPhones?
Say that again?
Does the program sync with iPhones?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So basically like the activity app that you have on your iPhone, or I don't even know if you have an Apple Watch, but once I do a Peloton ride or whatever strength conditioning, because I actually do it on my TV. I have a Roku TV. you can download the Peloton app on your Roku or your Fire Stick if you have a Fire Stick too. And I think Apple TV has it now too. But it syncs. So as soon as I'm done taking it on TV, it automatically syncs to my app, to my iPhone, to the activity. So it has the calories and all that stuff in my activity for my Apple Watch and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So.
But see, you're seeing results for all this stuff. So I know you're going to use it. So
that's what I'm saying. Like it was good because I wasn't sure in the past when I used to like manage at a gym. I was never a spin person, and that's because the seat would hurt my ass and I wouldn't take it enough to get used to it. So I would just like take it once and then quit. But this was kind of a tester to see, if I pay $2,500 for a bike, am I going to use it? And my biggest thing was I was working outside and outdoors and stuff like that. But what about when it gets cold? Like, what am I going to do? So I've actually been doing all indoor workouts now and just using the Peloton, and it's been awesome. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to bite the bullet and go for it. It's what I really wanted in the first place. So I'm selling my bike to my mom, giving her a discounted rate, $100 off, but I'm giving it to her to buy. And so I've already got that taken care of and get that money back, you know? So.
Now, people installing the bike and putting it together, or they just
the Peloton? Oh yeah, the whole crew. And I called today too because I was like, I know I'm pushing it because let me tell you, when people have ordered it right now, they have like a 2 to 3 month wait for most people to get the bike because of the pandemic, and so many people want this thing. But mine's actually only 3.5 weeks, so I'm very lucky that I'm about to have it on the 23rd of this month. But I called today. I was like, I know I'm kind of crazy and out of pocket asking this question, but can I get my date moved up? And he was like, yeah, no, the earliest is the 23rd for you. I was like, cool, I'll take it. I'll take it. It could be worse. Somebody else commented yesterday, theirs is not coming till Halloween. So I was like, I'll take it.
They've had people wait long. We got really lucky. We bought ours in April. I say we, it was what my husband wanted this bike. I was like, what? We don't need this. What
right.
He's a spinner. Like he's always loved spin. And so we got it in April, and then he had to go back to Florida. So I've been the only one. I think he's thrown it 5 times. And he can ride it. You know, he can use the app, but he doesn't get to ride the bike. And so I'm addicted now. I think I'm on ride. I think today made 81. So I'm
wow.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah. Well, and that's not. I hadn't been consistent. So my plan is, I'm like, I can definitely get to my century ride by the end of the month. I want to do my anniversary is on the 21st. I'm like, okay. We'll try to time my 100th ride for my anniversary. So.
I'm gonna join you on there. I won't have my bike until another couple of days, but hopefully I can join you.
I'll wait. I'll do my century ride when you get the bike.
On the 23rd, I'll be home. Yeah, that's not okay.
I just downloaded it and I didn't have to pay anything.
You get a 30-day free trial at first, okay. And then after that, it'll prompt you to pay the $29. So you can try it out for 30 days. It's awesome.
Okay.
And Kenyatta, to answer your question, I called today, and so I asked them about the setup because on the website it says that they're basically just going to drop it in your foyer or your garage, and then because of COVID, and be like, hey, peace out, you got to take care. So I asked them today, I'm like, so if I need this moved upstairs to my room or whatever, is somebody going to be able, because it's just me here, like, who's going to muscle that thing up there? He's like, no, they wear gloves and protective stuff, so they'll be able to take it upstairs and set it up. I was like, perfect. So yeah, they do the full install and come in and put it all together for you exactly how you want it. And
they delivered ours to the door and we just brought it in. We were downstairs though, but it was really, I think we had to put they had like I think they had put the screen on it. We had to like put the screws on the shoes and stuff, but yeah, it was very minimal.
Oh, okay.
It's heavy though. It's a bike. Like it's a nice sturdy piece of equipment.
That's what I'm saying. It looks real sturdy, not like the little bikes you get for the home bike that be wobbling after 6 months.
That's
it's a real deal. It's a bike.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I can't wait. I'm like these 3 weeks. It's 3 weeks from today that I get it, and I'm like, this is gonna take forever. But
right.
Cool. Yeah. But I'll have to give y'all usernames and stuff so y'all can add us and just try it out. Like even, like I said, the yoga, the strength conditioning, even that part of it, if you have dumbbells at home, it's awesome. Just
the meditations, like the meditation app, they have all kind of good, they got sleep meditations. I have never heard the end of one.
Oh, I got you. Okay, I'm going to add you, Lena.
I got you too.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, Chelsea just did a Black Lives Matter. She did a Black Lives Matter meditation on Monday and a yoga class, which was basically like playing. I don't know, one of the songs that she did in the meditation was like Malcolm X. Like it was something, you know, it's all pertaining to stuff like that, but she's huge at being vocal and speaking for, you know, Black Lives Matter, and a lot of them are actually.
They really are. That's what I like about it too, is they are not, they I mean,
yeah,
they're
Peloton,
like,
somebody posted, it was Chelsea, wasn't it? Last week that they made a post on Chelsea about Black Lives Matter. Like so many people were mad too, but I was like, go ahead. But yeah, it's awesome. So if you guys are looking for something to do at home, that is it.
Okay.
we got all the way off of this book.
I know.
Yes.
But what is her name again? Her music name?
Amanda Diva.
Amanda Diva.
Okay.
I went back the other night and watched a bunch of like her Def Jam, Def Poetry Jam, and something. She was with Floetry too. I was like, well, I missed that.
And she mentioned in the book that was a whole nother book, and I was like, well, we want to read that book.
I want to read that one. What happened?
Look, I need to see if it's on YouTube or something.
I tried to find. I didn't find many Floetry. There were like a couple videos of her with Floetry.
What was she doing? Was she singing?
She was rapping on the ones I saw.
I can't find anything right now. There's just like blogs and, you know, stuff that she did, but
I'm trying to think of what else that I like that information. I thought the friends with benefits, fuck boy, that conversation, I thought that was interesting.
Agenda.
The agenda.
Yeah.
That was the question. I was like, who's on your agenda?
Find out.
Get on Peloton and see.
Right.
So who has read the Alexa Martin? What was the second one? Fumbled? The TK?
Yeah.
Fumbled.
Wait.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, Fumbled.
Dennis was my TK. Because Dennis used to have a ponytail. Dennis used to have long hair. And he's a cycler and a yoga. He does yoga and all that. I was like,
okay.
Dennis
That's TK.
Oh, did you see the video that was posted in the group today?
Of him doing the shy?
Yes. I'm going to find it for y'all because y'all will crack up at this video. But like somebody was like, who is this man? Like he's trying to come for me right now. Hold on. I'm going to find it for you.
While you find it, he did a Black History Month ride. He had Isley Brothers. He had all kind. And he's like grooving while he's.
Yeah, he was body rolling today.
Okay, so
I was like, sir.
Group that you all talk on, is that within the app or like a Facebook group?
It's a Facebook group.
Okay.
Here we go. Okay, I'm a screen share for it. Real quick so you can see this. Hang on.
He is so off topic.
Okay, let's see. I think it's here. Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna play this video for y'all because she was like, "Who is this man?" Come on.
Oh yeah, he has the man bun.
Oh, it's cut now.
Oh.
In 20 minutes, 90s pop.
Oh my God.
Who is this man? What are you doing? And I said hi.
All of his rides.
Yeah. So, anyways,
was that just like a warm up? Because that's a slow song. I know.
I think it was the cool down. Yeah.
I can't. Oh, he all
like, no, you need to get off of that Peloton. Okay.
Listen, I bookmarked that ride. I'm like, I'm taking that tomorrow. Listen.
I'm like, it's some brothers that don't know about Shy. I'm okay with what's his name, Jess? What's his name?
Dennis.
All right, Dennis.
I wonder if they have Alex in there somewhere.
I love Dennis. I'm telling you that his Black History Month ride out, and he was taking like the sample, like the original song, and then the sample. So he played Between the Sheets, and then he played Big Papa.
Yes.
He was like, y'all know where I'm going with this, and then he played whatever goes with It Was a Good Day. What's the one that
Ice Cube, Today Was a Good Day.
Like the original, then he played Ice Cube. Then he I was like, okay, Dennis, and he like knows these songs.
Come on, Dennis.
Okay. Right. He said, come on, Dennis.
Dennis is my TK.
I'm not taking a class on him yet, but I'm definitely adding him.
I have two agenda lists. One of them are people of color, and the other one is people of not color.
Oh, hey now.
Tell me if who's
Still,
on the
I know. I want to hear this list. Spill it.
because I want to know if you have one of mine on your non-Black.
Yeah.
Okay. So, at the top of my non-Black list, and it's sad that I don't remember names. He was engaged to Lady Gaga. He plays on Chicago Fire. His name is
McDury.
Yes, with the gray hair and the
He was from Grey's Anatomy too, wasn't he?
I don't know.
McDrury or something. I know you're talking about.
No, that's not him.
McDreamy?
I'm
Talking about McDreamy?
McSteamy is on my list, but not McDreamy.
Okay.
I need to learn real names.
But I know the guy from Lady Gaga.
Patrick Dempsey is
That's Lady Gaga, ex-boyfriend.
okay.
It's about Christian Carino? Is that
No,
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you.
Patrick Dempsey.
No. I should have wrote the list down if I was gonna bring it
Okay.
up. I'm so sorry. Hold on.
What if you run up on him? You ain't even gonna know his name.
I watch him on Chicago Fire.
She said she knows the one she sees him.
Exactly. I'm pulling him up right now. And I never remember his name. I never
Taylor
remember.
Kinney?
That's it. Taylor Kinney. That's
Okay.
him.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
She had a good list on there. She kept mentioning
She did
T'Challa
have
on
a
there.
good list.
She had Chadwick on there, and I was like, oh, like I just.
She mentioned him several times.
Yeah.
In the book.
Somebody on my list, Keela, is what's that boy's name from Magic Mike? What's his name?
Oh, Channing Tatum. That's my number one.
Channing
Channing Tatum. Let me tell you.
Tatum.
You know what? Do you know what my son's name is? It's Tatum. He's named after him. Like that's how obsessed. Oh, I'm not even kidding you. That's how obsessed I was with Channing Tatum. Like everybody knew in college that was my man. Do not touch him. My son is named after him, y'all. Like
Okay, so I thought you were gonna say Matthew McConaughey because that's
another one. He can go on that.
He used to be on my list till I found out he don't wear deodorant. And I was like,
Yes, yeah, he's there.
okay.
I don't need that natural smell.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think okay.
Renee, your cousin is on my list too. But I don't know where he falls on my list.
Yes.
I don't blame you. Let me say.
He was like my past with one of my exes. I was like, that's my like.
Admittedly, there was one time I was in the movies and there was a preview, and they started to scan the body from like the feet up though, and I was like, well, damn, like whoever that is. And then they got up to the shoulders, and I was like, fuck, like I know his tattoos, like I know exactly who that is. I was like, that's my damn cousin. So for y'all that don't know, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, that's my cousin.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I love him. I love him. His videos.
I can't come to the family reunions.
Right, listen. We don't get to see him like that. It's very rare. Like the first time, maybe the second time I've seen him in my life was this January when his dad passed away, and we went to the funeral in Florida. That was like the first time I've seen him in my adult life. Like, so we don't have access to him like that.
But
how are you all related?
Didn't he just get out here in Atlanta?
He lives here now.
Mm-hmm.
My grandpa and his dad are brothers.
Oh, okay.
That's close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, we saw him at the funeral, got pictures and everything like that. And
you posted it.
Who hosted the funeral?
No, I said you posted it.
That's yes.
I
did.
Mm-hmm.
Now, speaking of The Rock, I like him because, and it's interesting how he and his ex-wife, she manages his company.
They have a lot of businesses together still. They just bought the XFL together.
And his current girlfriend is who he
was current wife. They got
his
married.
wife. They got married in Hawaii.
Had the affair, but I was amazed, when you started talking about forgiveness and whatever, that he still, whatever went on with that relationship, but that he's, he and his ex-wife still have that relationship, and he trusts her that much with his business affairs.
She's everywhere. We went to see him at a taping of what's that show? It's like not Gladiator, but whatever it is.
Yeah, the Titan. Thing that he does.
The Titan, yeah. So the Titan Games, he hosts that, and we actually went to a taping, me and my grandparents, and someone walked in the crowd, and we had just been to the funeral like a week and a half earlier, and so we yelled out like, Danny, and she turned around and was like, hey, like, how are y'all doing? But again, she's right where he is, like, the whole time. She's wherever he is, and she lives in Florida, so for her to be up there, anything that he's doing, she has a hand in it too.
Yeah,
I know
he's always been like that.
I know a couple like that. They're divorced, but their business relationship didn't stop.
Yeah,
and they're both remarried and all, but they are still they didn't married at their business. That's that $1 billion on the elevator kind of thing.
Man,
look, we can agree not to be together anymore, but we got to keep this money.
Yeah. These coins.
It's awesome with kids. I love him with his girls. You know, he posted his videos with them.
Moana. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
Where he's like, and the little
Shut
one
up, Daddy.
refuses to believe that that's him. Like,
right.
You're ruining it. But he's like, but that's me. Like, no, really, that's me.
You're you. You're not that.
The thing is, him, I notice he keeps, you know, with celebrities, you have to keep your circle tight and know who your friends are. Like, you know, last year he had gifted like his double stunt bodyguard, the guy that does his stunts, like a truck for his birthday or something. Like, he's like really, really good to the people that are loyal to him.
Yes. Very tight circle. Like, even
Speaking
like
of tight
you have
circles.
Which
Go ahead, man.
No, I was just saying, like, he's really like closed off. Like, we couldn't even have access to him. Like, we'd have to do things through his dad and things like that. Like, his dad would come around Thanksgivings and Christmas and stuff like that, but couldn't touch him if we wanted to.
I was just saying, with the close circle thing, thinking about Chadwick Boseman and the fact that he fought this cancer for 4 years.
And nobody, like, y'all are filming movies with him and had no clue that this man.
Your bosses didn't know.
The
like
people
that.
Knew.
But do you realize how, you know, I'm thinking to myself, like, the strength that it would take, because I know, you know, breast cancer is one thing, different cancers, but that gastrointestinal, those GI cancers are horrific.
Yeah.
And like, you know, for him to know the importance of those roles and that he needed to do those roles, but I'm just like, how in the world were you functioning and doing them fight scenes and all?
Because if he didn't do them, then he would have had more time to concentrate on his illness.
I mean, it's debilitating.
It is debilitating.
The kind of cancer he has, that's not just.
Yeah.
It's not breast cancer. I mean, my mother-in-law has it right now. We're watching it. I'm watching it break her down.
Right. You could tell in the pictures, you know, the later pictures, because I remember seeing him, I don't know what it was, and I was like, wow, he's gotten thin. I just assumed it was for a role.
I did too.
You know, actors do that all the time.
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey did it.
Yes.
I thought it was for a role too. I said, okay, whose biopic is he about to do? You're about to get something great from him. But like you said, Lena, it is. I've worked with somebody who's had friends, and this is all like recent stuff. And young people under the age of 50, you know, pre-colonoscopy screen. I'm like, okay, when are we going to move this back? And so it hit really hard when I read it because of the names that I can name who have been going through this. And the fact that he didn't tell. And one of my friends was like, wow, y'all, this is powerful that no one knew this. And I said, but that's because you can't let everybody in your circle. Right. Because some people are not equipped to pray for you and to go to battle for you. And she was like, I like that word, equipped. I said, because it is. It's a war. It's a war. So some people just want to know because they just want to know. But it doesn't mean that they're going to bring any positivity to you because they know. They're just looking. Some people are just trauma whores, honestly and truly. They just want to see what people are going through. And I guess he felt like, I can't let what I'm going through stop me from doing what I got to do.
Or define me. It would always be about that. Every time
always be asked.
What would they be talking about?
Fighting cancer, right?
Nobody.
That also would have stopped him from roles too. If they'd have known he was going through it, would they have picked him to do Black Panther?
They may not have.
No.
Yeah.
They said they didn't have anyone else in mind.
They did. They said he was who they
He was the
chose.
only one. Yeah.
And he did an
But
excellent job.
But you're right. If they had known,
Right.
they might have.
Had
You
a
know,
Black Panther.
even
Yeah.
the like, don't they insure these actors when they're on these roles and things? Like, I'm just wondering, like, how did you? You know, it's interesting.
I just had my colonoscopy today.
Did you?
Yay, 50.
Well,
Good.
You, I know.
I turned 50
to
2
45
weeks.
actually now.
Oh, 1970. Yay.
When is your birthday, Lena?
The 18th.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool.
I do know they changed it to 45 now. So insurance companies.
Yeah, my doctor told me that. Thank you. You sound like her.
Well, you're interesting. Interesting you say that. I have a friend, and I think your insurance kind of decides what does that, because her father died of colon cancer, and her insurance would not approve her colonoscopy
Yeah,
at
it seems
45.
like they would have with the
I
family
know. I was
history.
like, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Friend of mine
So
too. Well,
last year they approved it. So what is the National Association
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Yeah, my doctor said it's 45. Yeah.
once it's recommended, your insurance company is preventative, just like mammogram, just like pap smear.
Well, I need to tell her that because she's not going to be 50 for another 3 years.
Yeah,
So,
she
go
can
ahead
get
and do it.
Well, I had an appointment and I put it off, and then COVID happened, so I
sure.
need to get it scheduled.
Me too.
yes, you
the same thing
do.
happened
I
to
was
me.
in there for an hour. It was completely painless. Now, the day before, we're not going to talk about that.
Oh no.
Eating all the stuff.
Did you get on a scale before and after?
I lost 8 pounds.
Wow.
Oh,
Right, right now.
appointment.
Me too. Okay.
Damn. Right. I'm like, wait a minute.
For my little birthday trip.
Weighed myself when I first got up yesterday, and then I weighed myself this morning. I had lost 8 pounds.
In a day.
Wow.
In a day.
Doing the Gatorade and that solution.
It was Gatorade and the solution. I could have apple juice. I had apple juice and ginger ale. But the whole day I just felt weird, and it just continued into the night until I went to bed. It was horrible. I remember when my grandmother did it like 20 years ago, and they had that chalky solution and all that stuff. So I was like, oh, it's nothing like that. So I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain.
It used to be like that.
Solution?
No, I did. It was over the counter stuff.
Clear,
It was, Dopalax and magnesium citrate.
Citrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff will clear you out.
Yeah.
My parents are very diligent about theirs. And I remember one time my mom had one scheduled, and my grandmother was, bedbound at the time. My mom was a caretaker. And the sitter, like, she said, oh, I'm going to be right back. I have to go to my sister's house. And then she never came back. And my mom was like, I'm not drinking this stuff again. Somebody got to be over here. I'm not going there. And it just bounced.
Wow.
Just totally bounced. And I think the colonoscopy was like the next day. But we found like a cousin to come and sit with my grandmother, because my mom said, I'm not drinking this stuff again.
When I drank I got the lemon flavor, and I was like, oh, this just tastes like a lemon drink. It's fine. But then after I drank it, I was just like, oh, I just feel bad. And then it took a while for it to start working. This is way TMI, but anyway.
When it works.
It does.
So you weren't nauseous or anything, it just did it out the other end.
Yes.
Okay.
And the doctor said my colon was beautifully clean and clear this morning when he looked in it. So it worked.
Oh, wow.
It works.
Welcome to 50 or 45 now, I guess.
Yeah, 45.
I was 50 in March.
Wake up, Renee.
Look at me. It's the pink lemonade, Moscato.
Oh yeah.
Girl, look at my cup. It's gone.
Mine too. I'm like, I
had both of the glasses. When I walked away, I just got the other glass.
I need to get some more.
It's good. It's a good drink. You can do that more often.
Yeah, I think I'm going to test it
Work
out.
on next month. But we gotta behave because the author will be in.
Okay, I have a question about that.
Yes.
Have we ever done that before and we didn't like the book that much?
What? Say what? Say what, Lena?
I said, have we ever had
Alexa Martin, we liked Intercepted.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever had an author come and we didn't like the book that much? Because I did not really like that book that much.
What was the name for what book was that? What was the Midnight Train to Atlanta? No, the Midnight Train to Georgia.
No, Georgia.
Yeah.
Last Train to Georgia.
Yeah, that one got on my nerves too, that book. But yeah.
No, it wasn't Last Train to Georgia. Now y'all
Last night in Georgia. Last night in Georgia.
One night in Georgia.
One night.
Yeah.
All I remember is Georgia.
I didn't read it.
So you don't recommend it, huh?
I like that one.
The last one with Alexa, I was nervous because the main characters get on my damn nerves.
But once you pick up that 50% mark, it picked up for me. Like she saved herself after that.
Oh, the last?
Okay.
You talking about the third one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it picked up.
I was laughing at you two about that third one. I was like,
it took me like 3 weeks to get through it. 3 weeks.
Look, after y'all were posting in that group, then when I was texting Renee, I was like, Renee, I think they tainted me because I am not getting through this book. But then
I'm like, I can't unsee it now.
It hit that point, and I was like, okay, I'm good. But it is interesting because none of the rest, I think it's just a publishing thing. Because the first two books, it was just women on the cover. Mm-hmm. This one and the next one is the man and the woman. I wonder why they switched that up.
Yeah. Are you talking about Alexa Martin's book?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The next Snapped is Snapped. The next, what's the next one?
Yep, Snapped.
It's the man and the woman on the book.
So y'all read the two after the one that we read?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
That's TK. That's what I'm talking about in the second book. That's TK. But that's
TK.
So was the second one a good read?
Yes. The second one was good. The third one took about a little over halfway for it to kind of pick up, and then I enjoyed it after that point.
They was hating on Brian, who I was calling Bree.
Right. I was like, who the hell?
Yeah, I'm not good with names.
It's weird because from the other books, I had Bryn pinned as like this tomboy, and so I just kind of didn't think she was really into guys. I don't know where that came from, but from the other books, she came off kind of like mannish to me.
Yeah, because she was girl powered in the Converse all the time. Yeah, I get it.
Right. And so that, I hate to say it, but that's just what I rolled with. And so I couldn't unsee it and see her with like, this
fine black man
with these full lips that she just could not stop talking about every 5 seconds. His full lips and his full lips. And I'm like, shut up already. It just, but after there's some drama that happens towards the end of the book that made it like more entertaining for me. And I liked that the characters, most of these kind of rom-coms, like it's always a big fight at some point that happens between the two main characters. They stop talking, then they realize how much they love each other and they come back together. It wasn't really that. There was drama, but it wasn't necessarily between those two so much, and I appreciated that because I'm like, every rom-com usually is like the main two characters fall out in some way and then get back together and live happily ever after. So but I'm trying to think. The only other author I think we had was last year was Black Girls Must Die Exhausted.
Oh yeah.
I think One Night in Georgia, Black Girls Must Die Exhausted, Alexa Martin, and then now we'll have Catherine. So we'll see. I haven't read it yet, so I have no idea what to expect.
Lena's like,
I know.
I hated it. I didn't hate it, and I always rate Black authors a little higher than I should on Goodreads.
Yeah, try to give them a little something.
It's probably like a 3 for me because it's a lot of
Wait, your 3 was a little higher? Wait.
I'm
concerned.
Right.
I gave it a 4.
Are you talking about Ruby now?
I just do that.
Yeah.
That's what I rated it also. I rated it 3 too.
Yeah, see?
Wait, you've already read it too?
Oh, I read the book already, yeah.
It was just like this does not make sense, really. Okay.
Wait. Okay, Lena, hold on, because I'm not doing good. And, Renee, you posted that little thing on the meme, like, what are you? And I buy the books because the cover pretty. And
yeah.
The book. So what's up with this book?
Hey, everybody has their own.
It's all right. I thought it was all right.
Just read it. But I'm
just read it.
Damn it, just read it. Am I gonna be able to seriously, honestly talk about it? No, we're gonna have to have a second call.
Right.
Most of the times when I'm on a book chat with someone,
I'm gonna need to get stuff out.
Most of the time when I'm on a book chat, when we're talking with the author, we get together first and talk about the book, and then the author comes on later on. Because you can't be honest with the author. They're like, what are you going to say? I really didn't particularly care for your book. You can't say that.
It's not that I didn't care about it. Just some things I wish she would have done differently.
Right, but you can't. Some of those things you feel, you can't.
Lazy. She got lazy to me.
Ask her, but ask her in a nice, well, why did
think
you?
Of a way to word it.
Because I felt like Alexa got lazy in the last one that we read.
Yeah.
And I DM'd her. I think I tagged her. She's like, "Oh, I can't wait to hear what you think." And then the first part, I was like, "You don't believe what I think." I'm like, "This book." Now I'm good. I need to go ahead and DM her back and say, "Okay, I wasn't feeling it at first, but then you got me right. You got me right."
I don't know. I don't remember exactly what it was, but you know how when you're reading a book and you're in a time frame like the 90s or something, and then they'll say something that happened and you know that did not happen in the 90s. Like they mentioned a cassette tape or something like that. No, you did not use a CD.
Oh, no, we was done by the cassette. Yeah.
I have a flip phone.
No, because
it was
I had a 2000 Honda Accord that had a tape deck in it. I was still using tapes.
No, but I'm just saying it wasn't. It wasn't.
Wait, my 2000 had a CD player.
I had both. I had tape and CD.
Yeah, but me too. But I'm saying it was something like that. I don't remember the exact thing, but something like she didn't get those things right at the time.
Okay, what was the basis of the book?
I didn't remember that.
I'm just saying I didn't give you the right example. I don't remember the example. I was just giving an example of something. It was some kind of time thing that happened, and I was like, not in that time frame did that happen. I'd
be curious to know what that is. I hope you find it. Remember it.
But
you're gonna be back on the book chat.
I ain't reading that again. Y'all.
I'll find it because I know it in the book.
But Britt did that in Vanishing Half, and a lot of people probably didn't catch it, but I did because she called a parish. We call them parishes here. She said county, and I was like,
yeah, I saw that.
We don't have counties here.
Yeah.
That threw me off.
Yeah.
What character was saying the county? Was that?
She just mentioned something. No, it wasn't Stella. It wasn't even in like a dialogue. It was just in the pages somewhere. She said, at the county line or at the county prison or something.
I know. Was that? I think I caught that. Was that when Stella got off the train and she asked for where this town is, and the guy was like, "That town don't exist no more."
And it might have been somewhere like that. It was further towards the end. I said, "She said county. We don't have counties. We have parishes here."
Right.
And that's tough. Like when you fill out forms and stuff, and it'll tell you to put. And I always write. It'll say county, and I just write East Baton Rouge Parish. Like we don't have counties. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's the Catholic influence in the state.
So everything is a parish in Louisiana.
We have 64 parishes.
Okay, we had 100 counties in North Carolina, 100 counties in Florida.
Wow.
Yep. Parish.
Okay, we got way off of Miss Amanda. Anything else about Amanda?
I think it's tough sometimes with the nonfiction because it's not a story to talk about, you know?
Right.
I did appreciate some of the dating stuff that she put in there. That one story that the guy was awesome and he was so smooth, and then come to find out, well, she used her example of how she internet stalks people. And I really appreciated that because she was like, yeah, I found out he was married and all this and blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
in there. He had a whole wife. He forgot about a whole
one, huh?
And she must have been had going through a time with that one boyfriend who she came back from Brazil. He had nerve to say, "What we having for dinner?" She, basically mentioned something about starting to pay rent, and he talking about what rent? Your
apartment's so small or
narrow.
Narrow. I'm surprised that she even get with her demeanor. I'm like, how did you even get hooked up with that fool? You kept him around that long.
Well, and that was a good point of it too. Was when you see it, cut it. What she said, you need to cut it. Like,
right.
Cut it when it's time. When it's time to cut it, you need to cut. I kind of stalked. I didn't stalk my husband. He's on Facebook, so baby, if you're listening, I think I've told you this though, because we met on Tinder, and so I was like, okay, I need to know a little more. But what I liked the most about him, out of all the other guys I had interacted with, was he never made the move to say, so can I get your phone number? I don't. But most of the other ones were like, I don't like talking on the app. I don't, that kind of thing. And I was like, well, he waited till I said, well, if you want to call me sometime. We just talked through the app for a while. And then I finally, he was like, sorry if I'm late on my messages. Sometimes I don't check the app as much during the week. And then that's why I was like, well, if you want to call me, and I gave him my phone number. But but when I went on my first date with him, I didn't want to tell any of my friends I was going on a date with somebody I met on Tinder. I was so nervous about it. I was like, oh, because
I had my husband online too, by the way.
You did, and I just didn't. So I had a friend, a coworker, who is on Tinder, and actually he babysits. He used to babysit my bulldog, and so I had a picture, and like Bentley was in the background, and he sent me a screenshot. Why you got my boy on Tinder? I was like, oh no, I'll get off, and he was like, no, don't get off. Everybody on here is not like me. They got some good dudes on here. I'm not one of them, but they got some good dudes.
That's funny.
I sent him the text message that night and said, hey, I'm going on a date with this dude. He works at LSU. Last name is Johnson. If something happens to me, he did it. He's like, I got you.
That's it. Let it know.
Now, were you afraid to go on this date? Because I'm like afraid of online dating. I get on the app, but I don't follow through.
I had been on others, not like it was, they tell you do like the meetup first, so don't make it a real date.
I'll talk to somebody.
Oh, ours was really random. It was like it was a Friday night. It was Essence Festival weekend. He had friends, and I say to this day, he used his friend Chris as the decoy because Chris was driving in from Houston. And so it was just like a random Friday. We were talking, we were texting, and he was like, well, you want to try to meet up? And I'm like, ugh. So we met at this bar. But he told me, he was like, well, my friend Chris is coming in from Houston. I figured out later, Chris was the distraction. Like if he got there and it wasn't going good, they were going to go.
Yeah.
Poor Chris got there and was sitting at the other end of the bar with this drunk guy, was just talking his head off. We were like, whatever. So yeah.
That's awesome.
We just clicked. But I think I wasn't nervous because of how he took it.
Slow.
He let me make the.
Yeah, I like that. Because I hate those ones that are rushing, like, oh, so what are you doing tonight?
I like talking on the app.
We just matched like an hour ago. Chill out.
You still talking to other people? I just started talking to you yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Right.
I'm not closing the door on anybody else. So,
Lena, what about you? You said
we talked for like 2 months on the app. And then when we finally met for lunch, it was during a work day. So we met for lunch. And then that's when he told me what he did for a living and that he didn't want me to give my phone number, my real phone number. That he taught me how to set up a Google Voice because he said you shouldn't be giving your real phone number out to people and stuff like that.
Oh.
So okay,
13 years later, 12 years later.
Google Voice.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't do the club.
Well, maybe I'll get
more. So it's something to consider.
That's what I tell people.
Then that's going to the club and hooking up with people.
That's what I told somebody when they were like, "Oh my gosh, you met somebody online." I said, "Well, if you meet somebody at the grocery store, you
don't know anything about
Right.
Right. It's the
They
same
can
thing.
have a husband. They can
Or
have a
even
wife.
sooner probably than you would online. So
Yeah.
And I asked my husband. I said, "If you'd have seen me at Whole Foods," he's a bit of an introvert. He's like, "I wouldn't have talked to you." He's like, "I would have been like, wow, she's attractive," and I just would have gone on about my business. But it was
I always ask him that
the
too.
same
What's
friend. It was the
in
same
line at the grocery store? Yeah.
It was the
I
Christian
find that,
who was like, "You need to get on Tinder."
people don't approach in person. Like you go out to the bars and the clubs, that the men don't approach you. At least not here in Atlanta. They just look at you and like, okay,
Right.
whatever. They're chilling with their homeboys or whatever. But it's easier online for some reason. But yeah, men don't feel the need to approach because they do have online resources that they can text message and whatever.
And I liked what Amanda said about that, about attention versus affection.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
So, that's real. Like I needed this book 10 years ago. This is real.
Yes, I did
was
too.
real.
I wasted 7 years.
Those good morning texts, girl. Oh, he told me good morning. Yeah, you and 10 other people.
Exactly. Everybody. Just
Good morning, beautiful. Yeah.
Copy and paste. Copy and paste.
Copy and paste.
Yeah.
You know, in relationships, I've been in relationships before that got the good morning or the phone call while they were driving to work. And then when it stopped, I was like, oh, there's a change in the relationship. Well, maybe not. I mean, it wasn't a real, you know, even to begin with, I guess. It's just good morning.
Yeah.
Right.
Just being nice.
So USA Today, or all the news sources, just posted that The Rock and his wife and two young daughters tested positive for COVID-19.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Probably from him, because he's out there, I mean, doing whatever.
So, still working.
Yeah, I think he's still working, I would assume, but who knows? It could come from anywhere, but.
It was on CNN too.
Yeah. That's when my grandpa just sent a group text to the family. I saw it pop up first, but then that's like when my grandpa texts, I'm like, yeah, he's about to send the article.
The grandpa text, that's pretty good.
Oh yeah, all the time.
I think this is inaccurate because your ass is not on the mend. I was just looking at you 3 days ago and you sounded pretty good to me. So I think they're sick now. Because he's on live all the time.
Yeah, and he is. So who knows? Or maybe it's just not affecting him.
They were laughing.
Yeah, and some people it just doesn't affect
at all.
Like Tom Hanks, he wasn't like debilitated.
Yeah,
he might
his
have
wife
and
interested in that woman he married instead of me. It wasn't a problem.
There's a lady that I work with who she said they never had cough. She never even had fever. She just had the loss of her sense of taste and exhaustion.
Right. And I guess that's fine, but this article says the virus was a formidable foe for him, which means he just wasn't asymptomatic. That's why I'm like, okay.
That's the whole crazy thing about it. It's just, some people walking around nothing, and then other people within 2 or 3 days on a ventilator and then gone. It's crazy.
I know a lady that died the other day.
Absolutely crazy.
She, Don Lemon talked about her on his show. She's from here. I grew up in church with her, and she died last week. But she had asthma, but she'd been on a ventilator for a while. And it really hit when because people started sending, they were like, y'all, Don is talking about Peter. But his point was, this is someone I know from Louisiana. He's from Port Allen, from Louisiana. And like, y'all, this thing is still real. I think she was 55,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. I think her funeral was yesterday.
Wow. Sadness.
Gotta
be careful.
Gotta be careful. Look, DoorDash dropped my food at the door. I was like, you leave it right there. It's sitting there waiting for me.
Hilarious. Well, awesome, ladies. This was a good chat. We talked about everything
under the sun. Got the Peloton app and everything. Okay.
And the book. We talked about the book too. And I want to hear your questions for Catherine.
Oh, maybe we should post them in the group and kind of have like a
pre-chat.
Yeah. Maybe we can go live prior to that chat. Maybe I can do something in the group, like where it's just, nobody can see it, go live or something. No, but I want to hear y'all's thoughts. So we'll figure that out. Maybe I'll do it on another day or something. We'll take a vote and see where we can have this pre-chat and kind of talk, and maybe even come up with questions and things that we want to ask her.
I like that.
Yeah, I'll create a Google form just for people to submit questions as well. But yeah, maybe we'll talk about that and just kind of get our thoughts together maybe a couple days before that without her on there. Then we can kind of really speak on, and then from that, like, ask questions strategically, like, why did you do it this way? And, so we'll see.
That means I had to read the book on time. What's up with that? I just finished this one at like 6:45.
I heard some of your posts where you were like, I don't think I'm gonna make it.
I didn't finish this one yet.
I barely made it.
I'll read this at the end of October.
I had to finish at 6:45 because my boo was coming on at 7 to talk with about Punch in the Sky. And
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It was a great conversation. Dr. Youssef, he was bomb, and so was EB. It was good. If you can watch the replay, please do. If I get the replay, I'll post it. It was a really good conversation.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward.
Did you read that book?
Not
I
yet.
haven't. It just came out yesterday, so I just got it yesterday.
Okay.
But they talked about a lot of other things, like their process and writing the book, how a character in the book is based on Yusef's real life wife, and just the whole prison system with our youth and people who are there for things they didn't commit and all that stuff. So I had to leave them because Jason was 10 minutes late, so they went a little long, but I forgave him because y'all know that's my man.
That's your man. Look, he's on your list, your agenda.
He's on the list.
Yes, I'm be a cougar because he only like 35.
I was just about to ask how old he was.
He's a baby, like you.
Yeah. Honestly, though, he's so private.
Well, here's the funny
I wonder
thing
about his dating life.
I do too. And my girlfriend texted me that he was like, he's wearing a ring. I was like, he wears a ring every now and then. And she's like, my girlfriend just texted me. She's so upset. I said, well, she'll be real upset when she knows that he was in a magazine spread in HGTV magazine. And when the spread posted, when he posted it to his page, he said, oh, well, there's already some changes. The couch has been replaced by a pink couch. And I was like, yeah, men don't buy pink couches.
Right. So
he might have a little something going on up in the house with him now.
Right. That's what I question. I'm like, because he's so private. He is. He's really
He
private.
is. He's very private.
Yeah.
Hey, who y'all talking about?
Jason Reynolds.
He be out there with his, like, he got like 3 black shirts that he wears. One that has like the bag, no collar. Like he does. I watch him all the time. I'm like, he's so cool though, but it's like
he really is.
He's very simple, man.
He is.
Yeah.
Punch in the air. I gotta check that one out. I ordered Transcendent Kingdom, but I pre-ordered it so long ago that I didn't remember I'd ordered it with some other stuff that needed to be delivered to my job. And I was like all day yesterday, like, where is my book? And I went to the app. It's at my job. And then it was delayed. So it got delivered today, but I go back to the office tomorrow. I was like, I'm not going over there to get it today.
I still haven't gotten
it. I wanted to.
I'm gonna get it this week because I love her.
Me too.
I haven't read Home. Is it Homegoing or Homecoming?
Oh, yeah.
I still haven't read that one yet.
Oh my gosh.
It's my favorite book.
Mine too. Yes.
I'm rereading again this month, so I
Me
can
too.
read Transcendent Kingdom next month.
Are they
I'm
linked?
reading it. I was reading it this week because the Whitney plantation here, or the Whitney, they call it a plantation, but I don't know if y'all have heard of it. It's all dedicated to enslaved people. It is not a glorification type museum. But they're doing a book chat on it next week. And
but
so
is it related to the book? Are they linked together?
It is. It's on Homecoming. the chat is on Homecoming.
Oh, it's the new book related to the old book.
I don't think
No.
I don't
No?
think so.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm. So I was trying to reread it this week to get ready for that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is that gonna be online? Is that gonna be?
Yeah, I think if you go to the Whitney, let me see if I can find it. I think you can just, I don't know if it had a max capacity. Let me see.
Yeah.
That place, if y'all ever come down here, you gotta go. It's
You said the Whitney Plantation?
Whitney Plantation, yep. But it is not a glorified plantation. It is dedicated to the enslaved people.
Now, is that in New Orleans or where is that at?
It's right outside. It's in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans.
Bedford.
It's well, we say Edgar,
Edgar.
but that is Edgar. we say it wrong.
Write that down before I forget.
Let me see.
Whitney Plantation.
Yeah, I'm picking up the about to put it in the chat.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Were you affected any by the hurricane, Jess?
Not me, but my job, because I work in affordable housing.
Okay.
And so we're leading the disaster recovery task force and all that. We just mobilize when it's all. We have about 10,000 people in what we are now calling non-congregate shelters, whereas normally during a hurricane, you got people at the, Civic Center, wherever.
Dams and all
You can't do that right
yeah.
now.
Who do you work for? Who do you work for?
Louisiana Housing Corporation, the state housing finance agency.
Okay.
So we have 10,000 people spread out all over the state in different hotels.
Wow.
But
I work for Habitat. We don't have
yeah. Oh,
our
we
presence
fund,
is shrinking in Louisiana.
we fund a lot of Habitat stuff.
Yeah.
But they just, like Lake Charles is pretty much no power, no water.
See, I work for a power company, so I know how that is. We sent a lot of our contractors, and even for the first time, some of our leaders, like supervisors and managers, because the devastation was so bad that they had the line people, but they needed folks to organize.
It's bad. I haven't been yet, but I drove through Lake Charles, from Lafayette all the way, from Baton Rouge to Houston the day after Hurricane Rita hit, which was right after Katrina, like a month after Katrina. And I cried the whole way through.
Yeah,
every exit was blocked off with the National Guard. And just seeing, there's a church, there's a curve on I-10 when you're going through Lake Charles. It's a big church. It's got a big steeple on top. The steeple was in the parking lot. On the ground. And that was in 2005. And they're saying this is worse.
Oh,
the wind was just, it was the most powerful storm that hit Louisiana. We've never had a category 4. Katrina was a 3 when Katrina didn't do wind damage. Katrina broke the levee.
Water.
Yeah.
Right.
But this friend of mine's mother-in-law, total loss. Most people I've heard, it's total loss. Roof is gone.
Yeah.
Flat. It is. It's more that trauma thing. I'm like, I can't. I mean, I literally cried from Lafayette through to Houston, just seeing boats look like somebody just tossed them up on the shore of the lake and all. And so they're saying this is just.
So my parents live in Monroe, and we didn't think it was going to go up that high, but one of
they
my
got category 1.
There, their new home they just built for a family is gone, demolished.
Really? Your parents' home?
No, one of the affiliate there in
the affiliate.
Ouachita County.
Oh wow.
Parish. No, yeah.
Parish, yeah.
Yeah. Do they have? I mean, because I've heard there are folks in Monroe without lights still.
Yeah, my parents were out for days. I haven't checked today to see if they're on, but. He said,
your parents?
My parents live in Monroe.
Okay.
The lights weren't, he said that they expected to come on for 3 days. Yeah.
Wow.
It ended up being a category 1 by the time it got up there. Now here we just got a lot of wind. Not too bad on the rain. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And even though we were on the east side of the storm, which is the worst side to be on, but but Monroe and Alexandria, because she went like this.
Mm-hmm.
She, when we talk about them like women, but it is she. But,
Well, she was named Laura, so.
She was Laura. She was Laura.
Laura.
I remember I met a lady after Katrina. Like, I'm still displaced because I was living in New Orleans. I was in law school. And so I was in Houston. We restarted the semester in Houston at the University of Houston in their law school. We had 2 law schools in one building. And I went to dinner with the lady I was staying with and one of her friends. And they were like, oh, this is Katrina. And I was like, oh, Katrina. I was like, I bet you get a lot of different looks now. And she's like, no, because people know me. And I was like, well, never mind, man. I'm just trying to make small talk here. You know, Katrina is a bad word in my language right now. I left New Orleans with like my law books. I had a dress because I went to church that Sunday. Like some shorts and t-shirts. Like, oh, we'll be back next week. I didn't go back till January.
Wow.
Go back till January.
Wow.
But so at least in like Laura, and even when we had the 2016 floods here, they're not back in their homes, but they can get back to it. We couldn't even get back to the city.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we couldn't even get there. At least now they can go, they can start assessing the damage. They can start that rebuilding process. Katrina caused a lot of hurt because you just couldn't get there. It was just, and then the mold starts growing, and it just, and some people just never wanted to go back.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go down there now, and there's still a lot that is just not back. But it's that resentment and that hurt and that trauma that starts building up when you can't move forward. I feel like, you know, I think Laura, it's still going to be devastating for people, but they can at least start the process. You know. Because the insurance companies are declaring the losses already.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That's crazy.
Take my son up from work, though. So
Yeah.
Lena.
It's been fun, y'all.
Yes, it was good.
Yeah.
Always.
Oh,
I just got an email saying that my Tracy's dog has arrived in my city at the post office. So
Oh, yeah.
We won't see Renee for a while.
well, I shall have it tomorrow, hopefully.
Go walk the dog, Renee.
don't forget to
Y'all posted on that one.
stop.
All right. Well, you guys have a good night. You ladies.
Good night.
Good night.
The same. Take care. See y'all next month.
That's it.
All righty.
Bye.
Bye.
Renee, wait. Kenyana trying to say something.
The link for the scale, Renee, post it in the group.
Yes, I will do that right now when we go in there. Yep.
All right,
Okay.
bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
I always forget how to get out of here.